good morning. Welcome to 50 and Fabulous, what you've learned through the trenches, sponsored by Main Street Mortgage. And I'm here on this beautiful Monday morning, and I have on the podcast Miss Melinda Grace with Melinda Grace Organizing. It's my honor to have you on today. And I'm really excited, actually, because I just had a chance to sit down with you last week and talk a little bit more about everything, because we met about a year ago.
Yes.
Is that when you joined Boss Ladies?
Yeah, that's when I joined Boss Ladies.
Okay, and she is, of course, the Team Boss Lady, one of my favorite groups.
Yes.
This is why I think Boss Ladies, too, is so important, is just because you meet not just fabulous women, but you also meet these women that are in business, helping one another succeed their goals per month, per year. And for me, I feel that it's just been a bonus in so many areas.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, right? In
Yes,
growth
yes.
and just learning and meeting fabulous people and developing true friendships, and it's been so much more than just like a networking group.
Oh my gosh, totally. And also I have to say it's an honor to be here and to like talk with you, because I actually went to one of your networking events before I was in Boss Ladies at somebody's beautiful home.
Oh, you came to Lucy's home.
Yeah, and I heard you speak. There's a panel, and Glenda was on it too. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, those women are so amazing. Like, I don't know how I would get to meet them or anything.
Well, you met them.
So I met them, and they're amazing.
That was a great venue that night.
It was.
We had a great panel, and I love doing panels as well. And Lucy Viato, who's a dear friend of mine, and we actually have another group right now that we do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have my own networking group with Lucy, and it's Women, Wealth, and Health. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that one's going well too. So
yes.
We're not going to talk about me. We're going to talk about you. That's why you're here today. So Melinda Grace, she is a born and raised Texas, actually Houston. You were actually born and raised, so you're from Texas, and you lived in Dallas for a short time.
Yeah.
Tell me about your growing up and you know, a little bit about Houston. And,
well, Houston is hot and humid, like everyone says. And growing up, no one really cared about Texas, or because it was hot, right? And then so it's so funny, this turn of events where everyone's like moving to Texas and it's the place to be, and that always like weirds me out a little bit. But no, I love Texas. I love the open skies. My parents were amazing, and they always traveled a lot growing up, and we always went on like little family vacations all over Texas, all over the states. And, you know, everything's bigger in Texas, including the houses. So I only bring this up because my childhood and, like, the house that we lived in and the amount of things that my parents had definitely has impacted how I ended up becoming an organizer. Yeah, so we had a pool. We did all kinds of activities, and
it's more you know, inexpensive. Or I shouldn't say now. I mean, people are. I mean, Dallas and Austin are becoming very expensive to move to. But Dallas and Texas and Austin and Tennessee and Florida, everyone's moving to those areas. But now it's making those prices go up.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I personally love Dallas, and I love Fort Worth because I've seen concerts there. But you're right, everything's bigger and there's a lot of food.
Oh my God, the barbecue. Yes. Whenever I go home, my husband and I joke that we always gain like 5 to 10 pounds because we like can't stop eating the barbecue and the Tex-Mex. One other thing I did growing up was I ice skated.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so when I lived in Dallas, we lived like 10-20 minutes from the Galleria, which in Dallas is an ice skating rink. And it's really funny because my husband and I, we've gone back and we're watching the TV show Dallas. And then I totally forgot this, but the first episode, obviously they have a theme song, and I heard it and I was like, oh my God, I totally did an ice skating routine to this song.
I remember that show.
So that gives you an idea of my childhood as far as like big houses and the way it was styled and designed. Like my parents were really into the style and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's fun. That's like you said, it's kind of how you got yourself doing the career you're doing now. We're not going to consider that because you had so much in between. You went to Baylor University.
Yes.
And you took something in grad school that kind of changed your way. You got you the classical acting, and then you went to Oklahoma as well,
Yes.
before you went to New York. So we have a lot of little
I have a lot of.
So what did you study in grad school first?
My major is technically theater for young audiences because after Baylor, I ended up working for a theater company and I worked in their development office. So I used my management and marketing skills to help raise money for this theater. And of course, like I did theater in high school, and when you're around acting, you know, the acting bug is always there. So I got to be in some children's plays and I really fell in love with just the impact you can have on kids and like how cute they are. So I thought, oh, I'll go to grad school because I didn't have like official theater training. So so I got into grad school at Oklahoma City University, and it's a 2-year program, and my main focus was learning creative drama, how to work with kids, how to do like plays that can really impact them. So I learned how to direct and teach and act. And then my last semester, one of the teachers there was teaching a Chekhov class. And
That's what it is. I'm like, what
Chekhov.
is this?
Anton Chekhov. Okay, so he was a Russian playwright, kind of at the beginning of the acting time when acting became more like, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but like minimalist and more real, not so over the top, but like really real. And he wrote about like real situations and relationships, and he was really interested in that. So I took that acting class and I fell in love with it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to know this more. So at Oklahoma City University, they're really known for their musical theater program,
which is so funny because you would never, I mean, my son-in-law to be, his family, he's got a ton in Oklahoma, and my daughter goes out and they stay on this huge ranch with many properties. There's like 3 or 4 homes on this big, you know, and they go to football games. She's texting me, I want to come home. You know, it's boring here. And I'm like, just enjoy it. Enjoy the fresh air.
There's not much else to do but like totally get engrossed in theater and your studies. So, but a lot of the graduates from that school, they moved to New York. And that had never been something I thought about, but I was like, wow, my friends are going, and like it's New York, and like, oh my, I want to find myself and like be an artist. And so I totally changed paths. I like never opened a children's theater. I didn't work for another one ever again, and I moved to New York, and that's
a big time change from Texas, Oklahoma, and then New York City.
Yes, but it was awesome. It's like some of the best years of my life. I always tell everyone they should go to New York, even if you can only go for a month.
I went for a week. That was long enough. 7 days. Right. That was long enough.
Right.
I was like, wow. I think they say you sleep when you die.
Yeah.
I think we were thinking we were going to sleep when we die.
Yes, it's true. So I lived there about 7 to 8 years. And it is, I feel like the energy of the city just kind of like picks you up. And then before you know it, you've been there like 7, 8 years. So.
Wow. And then after that, of course, once you do the acting bug in New York, you get I have to move to Los Angeles and be with the palm trees and all the dreams out in Los Angeles.
Yes, it's so cliche, but that is so true.
Yeah.
So I lived through some of the big snowstorms in New York and 2 hurricanes, which was hysterical because I'm from Houston, and I think I lived through more hurricanes in New York than I did growing up. Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah, I was going to say that hurricanes. A lot of people are feeling them this last year, big time.
Yeah, so between the hurricanes and the really cold winters and having been there long enough, I just thought, let's go to some sunshine. And I was tired of carrying everything on the subway. I'm like, can I have a car again? And like just go to like a big Target and like just like
live
put
normal life.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, right?
Yeah. So then I found my way back, or my way to LA via San Francisco, because I wanted to just know what it was like to study classical acting full time, like really dive into Shakespeare, like scene study work. And so I spent my summer studying at the American Conservatory Theater Company, and that was like amazing. I think I cried at the end because I was like, wow, this would be so
I've seen a couple plays
at the Geary.
At the Geary, and then I was born in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We moved early on.
Yeah.
But I've seen Nutcracker. I've seen 2 other plays because I have one of my best friends that lived on Market Street.
Okay,
so even up to when I had my 2 daughters, I brought them, and I took them on the subway.
Yeah.
I had their pictures drawn, all the things. One daughter loved it, and one daughter, the conservative little one, like wanted her TV, and my best friend didn't have a TV.
Okay.
And my little one was trying on wigs, and I mean, she was having the time of her life. It was pretty, and their personalities are still pretty much like that.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see what San Francisco was like because they have such a huge theater scene.
They do.
So I wanted to decide, like, do I want to stay in San Francisco and, like, keep doing the theater thing, or do I want to move to LA and, like, try film and TV? So I chose the latter, obviously, because we're here. So, yeah.
It's amazing, though. I mean, you've gone from so many different things and places, and, you know, I think sometimes a small town persona, because I'm from a very small town, I get that quest to just move and to get on, and, you know, leaving my small little town Gilroy from third grade till when I was 18, and then I moved to Santa Barbara, and that was I thought I died and went to heaven, because my school overlooked the ocean, and I still can't believe my parents let me go. I mean, I lived with my 4 best friends at the time. It was, thinking back, I would have been probably telling my daughters, no, you're going to go.
I think my parents were probably terrified when I told them, I'm moving to New York. They probably were like, what?
Yes, I mean, it was like the time of my life. I mean, it was so much fun, and, you know, I graduated from Cal Poly later on. Getting away that first time, and even getting down south, you know, and then we go to all, like, the concerts, everything down south.
Yeah,
because we talked about concerts.
Yes,
too.
we need to go.
Concert people.
And I think that growing up, because we traveled so much, and I loved learning about cultures, that I think moving a lot was
like a big deal to you.
Yeah, and also I wanted to experience, like, new people, new cultures, and see how I fit into them.
You know, and that's, you know, part of acting too. I mean, you probably talked to Stephanie and how she does the talent. I think that so many people come to LA with that big dream.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends too from Gilroy, she came and everyone laughed. Like, my ex-husband was like, I've known so many people from, you know, going to high school here that they try and go, and she went straight in, got her way on a Tiffany, what was it, got Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
She was in that. It was just small parts, and we'd watch it, and she was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Because people, I mean, my daughter was so excited. She loved the show. We watched it, and I just told her they were doing reruns of it, and
you're like, there's my friend.
Yeah, it's just, she fought her way through, and she got a really good agent, and you know, it was amazing to see her on some, she did a couple shows.
Yeah, that's how
it's fun. So jumping to, you ended up getting married. You've been married since 2019. You met the love of your life, John.
Yes, correct.
And you did meet him on an online app, which is fantastic that, you know, it worked out.
Yeah, I know, because it doesn't always work out, right?
Well, you know, you got to try something.
Yes.
I mean, so that's wonderful. So you got married, thank goodness, right before the pandemic.
Yeah, oh my God. I don't know how those people did it, but yes.
Well, they either waited or they had to wait. They had no choice.
Yeah.
The world shut down. So you were lucky you got married. Mm-hmm. And then you guys first lived in the Valley, right?
Yes, in the Northridge area. And then we moved out to this area, Conejo Valley, in 2021.
2021. But you've been doing Melinda Grace organizing.
Yes.
That's what we're going to talk about now. Your career has made a major turnaround from doing your theater and your acting to organizing. Now, you've always been really just super organized? I mean, I have to just say it that way.
Yeah, sure. So growing up with a lot of stuff, you either deal with it or you're just messy. And so my whole life, I was obviously as a kid, you're probably messy, but I remember in high school, like, I'd rather organize my closet or my toys or redecorate my room and, like, do all that stuff than, like, go hang out with friends. Yeah. And I used to think that was really weird and nerdy, and I'm never telling anyone that ever. And then
telling a podcast.
And I'm telling the whole world. But then I read Marie Kondo's book, and she says that in her intro, that, like, growing up, she would spend time organizing her parents' things and her house. And I was like, oh, you mean I'm not, like, super crazy and super weird? Yeah, so yes.
You got into it kind of by just something you enjoyed.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and every job I've had, which I've had several over the years, I always gravitate towards, like, organizing the files, relabeling office files, or organizing the prop room, or organizing, like, I did a lot of work for several nonprofit churches throughout my life. And so I'd organize the supply closet for the youth.
Now, it came naturally. And you're like, okay, I'm doing this naturally. And you're on Instagram, you're on Conejo Boss Ladies, Moms of Conejo. And every time I go on, anyone asks, we all refer to you.
Yes.
And I'm like, girl, that just came on to us. I mean, we've all just bombarded her with people. But you just said you worked all weekend because you wanted to learn another technique. But no, it's true. Organizing, because I have a really, I'm kind of OCD. I'm just going to say that out loud right now. I'm definitely OCD in my house.
Yeah.
But then you open some of my cabinets and you say, she's not really, because they're unorganized. I just put it away so you can't see it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely makes your life so much easier. Like when I get home from a trip, I don't know how people leave their stuff for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I have to put it away right away because, or when I move even. Because when I go to work on Monday, I need to find my things.
Yeah.
You know, my makeup brushes or hairbrush or whatever. It has to be in that place because I don't want to be looking for it on a Monday morning.
Right,
when I have to be at work or be at an appointment for work.
Yes.
So I value everything that you do, and I'm super excited for us to work together.
Yeah.
But tell us about how you're working, your time frames. I mean, how long you think it takes to do a house if you're going to do a house from A to Z. Say it's a 4-bedroom. If you had to do that on your own.
If I on my own by myself. Well, now I do my best to work with 2 organizers, 2 or 3, and we do 6-hour shifts. So we come and we start, and if anyone's seen the TV shows, it's pretty much like that. We pull everything out, and my team and we organize them. We work into categories and sort things. If I were to work on your bathroom, you know, we'd pull everything out, and I sorted
that's gonna be fun.
Sorted into like teeth, hair, you know, very general categories, and then I review with the clients on their breaks because most of my clients are really busy, either volunteering or they work. They're living their best life,
right?
And they want to amplify that. That's why we come in. And then I review with them and I guide them through the process. Do you want to keep? Do you want to throw it away? Do you want to donate it? Do you want to sell it? And I help guide them through that process. And that sometimes takes a lot of intuition because I read a lot of faces. I watch people's body language and I try to reflect back to them like what they're feeling towards an item in that moment. And then they leave and they go back to their life, and then we put it all away. And I ask a lot of questions,
of course,
about like how you move in your space. And I've written a book that hasn't come out yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
But in the book I talk about how we all have like our own dance and our own rhythm and the spaces where we live and work.
So true.
And so I do my best to not change your dance too much unless I see a better and more efficient way, because you already have natural ways of moving in your space that makes sense to you, and I just want to amplify that. I want to make it more efficient. I want to make it a little more functional, and that's what we do. So we kind of just perfect your dance already. And then obviously we give everything a home so that when you put your luggage away from traveling, you know where it goes, and then Monday morning you're ready to go. So that's how we work. And projects can range from, I had a client once and she wanted me to organize her pantry, and she literally had nothing, and I was like, okay, this will be great. So it took like 4 hours, and I was done and put in beautiful bins from the Container Store, and she was so happy. And then I've done like a small kitchen like in an apartment, but it was so tightly packed that it definitely took about 24 hours.
Yeah, because you know when you have smaller space but you just have so much stuff. I mean, I've downsized so much of my stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that I've done that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's funny because there's clothes, and then I have bought all this stuff for my trip I'm going on coming up, right?
Ooh,
so it's hanging on my door. And I finally told the gal that is living with me, I said to her the other day, I said, you know, you're probably sick of looking at all this, but the truth of the matter is I don't have anywhere to put it. So I just bought it all. And it's hanging here. When I get home, I'll have to deal with it because I can't put and I've had my closets redone.
Yeah,
completely.
Nice. Yeah,
and by a professional, and they were redone, and I'm like, I can't fit one more thing in any nook or cranny.
Yeah.
Shoes, nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I get back, I'm gonna have to do some serious.
Yes.
And
serious.
things that I always say, if you haven't worn it for a year or two, 2 years probably.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing
that's hard.
Another tip I give, yeah, I know it is so hard. Well, our items are tied to experiences and emotions and like things we've been through. And sometimes there's a lot to unpack. And then other times you're like, throw it away, no big deal.
A lot of things, I mean, I was easy to get rid of, but you're right. So there's some that are emotional, or these, fancy dresses that I'm going to wear. I used to do a lot more stuff like galas and different events, and I'm not doing as much of that. But there will be a few coming up. I've worn them enough now. I'm like, okay, I could probably get rid, but I just can't. I'm like, it's staying. And then I went to a wedding this last year, and I pulled this one out. I bought 6 years ago, and it was fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, see, I didn't have to spend any money. I spent money on the flights, and I flew to Tahoe literally for 24 hours for a dear friend's wedding. But I'm like, okay, I didn't have to buy an outfit because I really didn't have the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so you bring up a good point, and when I'm reviewing with clients, I really do work to help them be intentional about like what they're keeping, why they're keeping it versus parting with something, so that there's no regrets. There is sometimes, but that's my goal, is to not have any regrets.
Well, and you want to, and right, at the end of the day, you want to make your client happy, and then you want to be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think with everything that you're doing, I mean, and writing your book, and you have so many things that you've done, and you're just such an amazing person. Every time I work with you, you're so sweet and you're so kind, and everyone has always said the same thing about you. I mean, they love your working with you. The accolades that come out are just like phenomenal.
Thank you.
But what I do want to say too, I think one of the best missions that you're on right now, and is becoming a parent.
Yes.
And that I am so excited for you and John.
Thank you. Me too. I'm
really
super excited.
Hope that this whole process and everything that you're doing, Melinda, it's hard.
Yeah.
But you know what? The outcome is going to be an amazing outcome for you.
Oh, thank you.
And you're going to be a great mother, and I'm just so excited for that.
Thank you.
When it happens, right?
Yeah, when it happens. Yeah, we're looking to adopt. We just had interviews with our social worker, and so now we're working on the house and getting the house approved. And
well, you should know how to get your house done.
I know, right? Yes, on the interview, the social worker said, "So yeah, your house is clean and organized, right? There's not a lot of stuff or clutter." And John and I looked at each other like, "Ah!"
We got that part.
Like, we're good there. And I've been working really hard to surround myself with amazing women like you and the boss ladies that have gone before me and like run your business and were a mom, and you did all the things. So I'm really excited and I feel really supported that whenever that time comes, that like I'll probably ask y'all a lot of questions.
Oh, and I'll be that babysitter. Everyone knows me. That knows I'm dying to be a grandma.
Okay.
Like everyone's like, you want to be a grandma?
You can practice with mine.
I want to be a grandma. So if you need a babysitter, I'm here for you at any time.
Yes.
Because my girls are, they're waiting a little bit still, and one just got married, and she's definitely having her best life right now. Well, I shouldn't say, she's working really hard towards her goal.
Yeah.
And Chrissy's in nursing school, and they're getting engaged soon. So it's going to be some time. So I just can't wait. So babies bring so much happiness to everyone's lives. You're going to I can't even explain it.
Oh, thank you.
Well, sleepless nights are going to be like,
they're coming around they're coming.
But you'll have a lot of support, and I know all of us are super supportive and excited for you guys, and that's going to be, I think, your next big mission. And then you have a business too that you could definitely work around.
Exactly. And I've been slowly meeting people, being in the Boss Ladies group, and the influx of work and clients has been amazing, and it's also pushed me to learn how to run my business more efficiently and bring in other people and build that. So hopefully that will continue. That will continue, and also I can send people on jobs.
And that's what having a good team is about. And that's one thing about Main Street Mortgage. Yeah. We have an amazing team here.
Yes,
so
you do.
John and I bring in the business, and we're so honestly blessed that we've surrounded ourselves with this team.
Yes.
And this team, I've handpicked every single person in this industry that that I knew, and except for Nathan was here before me. So I have to say, John did Nathan, but together we have, and it's amazing because it's been some tough deals this last year.
I bet.
Hard deals, and we had to figure it out after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I have to say, we have figured it out. We're doing land loans, commercial loans.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
deals, of course, residential and everything about residential, reverse mortgage, but we're doing a lot of reverse mortgages too. So, yeah. So
that's why you pivot. You learn and you pivot.
You have to learn and pivot. So, and that's what we've done. So, let's hope that we keep on pivoting.
You will.
The right direction. So, anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up. Melinda, you are definitely the sweetest, kindest person, and I know that everything to come is going to be wonderful, and the outcome will be wonderful. We're all here to support you. So,
thank you.
Thank
oh
you.
my gosh, I love y'all.